Hey you're super. Hey everyone, Happy New Year again. New Year's going on right in full swing, and Merch Hunter Ricky is here to tell you he is ready to continue up until 2023, 2024. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So without any further interruption, let's go right into the chapter review of Fabricant 100, Chapter 5. Genuinely, it's called Ignorance. The title of it is called Ignorance. Genuinely, this chapter has completely changed the game of what I thought Fabricant 100 was trying to accomplish. And I am pleased to say that basically I have been blown out of the water with this chapter. Right off the jump, I'm going to give you the chapter rating. I think this is an 85% out of 100. No action, so that means it's not a perfect chapter because I'm a pretty vapid person and I like my action chapters. But let's go ahead and dissect everything that we get. So right off the jump, we are taken into the anti-fabricant organization called Mort Safe. Maybe it's pronounced Mort Safe, I don't know. We're going to call it the Mort Safe for now. Basically, what I like that is, I'm pretty sure Mort is like a word for death, dead. Anyways, Luca is a mastermind planner. He basically fabricates. He makes his own situation prepared in such a way that he was able to reveal the true nature of Fabricant 100 to ASHIBI through a camera. However, I want to start off with some points. It looks like the people in Mort Safe have either some sort of neck tattoo or they are fabricants themselves. So I want to get into that a little bit later in this review. Not for long though. It's crazy. Like I'm processing everything that happened in the chapter, and I'm just right away I'm blown away. We still don't have Luca's little friend's name, which is kind of a pet peeve at this point for me. Like, just name the guy already. Please just name him. So Fabricant 100 walks in, and right away you can tell that everyone's shook, even though they act like they're not shook. And Luca even brings up a point of saying that they are not afraid, or they pretended to not be afraid, although they must have been petrified. This was to ensure that Fabricant 100 didn't notice any cameras around. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say she does not care, because the second that they separate ASHIBI and Fabricant 100 for the first time, you know, like, they're not in the same room together, they are not talking and thinking on the same page right now. And even at the start of the chapter, ASHIBI is not cool with Fabricant 100. He straight up says, don't talk to me, when she's trying to say, I'll carry you, and be nice to him, you know, get back in his good graces. So ASHIBI, they make him get his arm patched up by a woman that straight up looks like she could be a fabricant herself. But like I said, that's really all I want to talk about. Like, she's got like the neck stitches and everything. So while he's getting his arm patched up, a little television screen pops up and starts showing ASHIBI through closed circuit television with the conversation taking place right outside the door between Luca and Fabricant 100. And he's like, hey, Fabricant, why didn't you explain to ASHIBI that the way to stop the Fabricants is to kill, get this, Fabricant number 1? How I thought that we were going to get an introduction to 99 and 98 early on? No, we are getting the lore drop that Fabricant number 1 is the guy that still has the technique to sew on body parts to the Fabricants, which I believe in either chapter review 3 or 4 was my question. Like, how do they even make themselves fabricants? How do they sew their body parts on, you know? Well, now we know. The technique used by the previous human doctor who made the fabricants was actually coined by him and passed on through the eyes of Fabricant number 1. Now, not literally through his eyes, they just kind of highlight it, but that's because he was watching and he learned the technique through replication that way, which is why I'm wearing the law hat. Surgeon, is there a doctor in the house? Well, you got one now. I genuinely did not see that coming, and it got chills down my spine when they're like, Fabricant number 1, you know? So he's probably going to be like a one-hit KO type punch, but at the same time, getting to him is probably going to be near impossible, right? It can't be that easy, especially if the Fabricants willingly go to him. He's got to have some bodyguards. So with that being said, ASHIBI notes, this is the first time I've ever heard Fabricant 100 speak to humans without me being present. And she does not make any excuses. She just goes straight up into kill mode with the chill in the air and she has like a quivering voice, and she's like, the only reason I didn't tell ASHIBI about it is because he didn't specify what order we kill the Fabricants in. Which, you know, brings up a question, how do you know what number each Fabricant is? I'm going to take a wild guess and say that they have the number on their body somewhere, and that's how he was able to write Fabricant 12 down or whatever. But we'll see. I'm sure that'll get revealed later, too. She's like, I don't have to tell him anything he didn't ask the question, for an answer to. So she deliberately hid that from him because she straight up says, ASHIBI's body's useless to me without Fabricant number 1. I'll kill him after he integrates ASHIBI's parts into my body. So now we have 2 very important Fabricants, 1 and 100. That is crazy enough. Just I should have seen that coming, because when you think about it, like, number 1 wouldn't be some super weakling that they already killed. Of course, they're going out of order with these Fabricants. So that's why I'm like, how do we know what number each Fabricant is? So like I said a couple seconds ago, I genuinely think they're going to show us that each Fabricant has like a barcode or a tattoo or something on their body. If they already did, correct me down below, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. So we have a complex situation on our hands, because at the end of the chapter, ASHIBI straight up goes, hey, hold on, before I say that, Luca is all like high and mighty after Fabricant 100 reveals that, because he thinks that now ASHIBI has seen the true nature of Fabricant 100. This actually seemingly has backfired on Luca again, because ASHIBI comes out and goes, I want you to let me join Mort Safe. And he's like, oh, sure, perfect. Yeah, there are tons of kids like you. Which, first of all, what does that mean? I thought he was the last kid that has special body parts, right? So maybe it's kids that are like almost on the level of his family. Well, they'll probably get into that later. But what I found highly interesting is how he was like, no, you're not going to accept just me into Mort Safe. You're going to accept we. I want you to let me and Fabricant 100 work for you guys. And even Fabricant's face is like, which is why I put it on the thumbnail. Beautiful panel. What an earth-shattering conclusion. In my opinion, this has been the proper introduction to a new world manga. Personally, I love My Hero, but reading the fight scenes and just kind of like mulling through My Hero's manga is kind of annoying. And I don't really like the way that author does things. And I think he's a big pervert. But other than that, I do like My Hero, but like the amount of things wrong with the manga, in my opinion, hold me back from wanting to like love it a lot, you know? And I used to love it a lot, but these last late chapters have hurt me. But what I think we're gonna get out of Fabricant 100, like I keep saying, is just a very minimalistic story where, although some characters, side characters are introduced, they're not even named, right? We only know ASHIBI, Luca, and Fabricant 100. We literally do not know Side Guy's name yet. The dude that looks like Gojo wannabe, budget Gojo, great value Gojo. Like, I really like the minimalistic yet massive panels, right? So it's like just ASHIBI and Fabricant for most of these panels, yet what we get is like a full-fledged drawing of a city. The drawing of Mort Safe was awesome. I loved it. When we walked into Mort Safe, we see all these people, but we didn't meet them all. We didn't get a bunch of name cards on the bottom. We didn't get a bunch of unnecessary lore drop. We didn't get a flashback. We just got a straight up, they go into Mort Safe, they go into a room, ASHIBI gets patched up, and then a camera comes up and shows the conversation between Luca and Fabricant 100, after which ASHIBI comes out and asks to join Mort Safe with Fabricant 100 at his side still. He is playing a double game, 5D chess basically, because what he wants is more leverage on Fabricant 100. He entered into an agreement with her that does not benefit him whatsoever. All he gets is 99 Fabricants killed, seemingly, and then she will integrate his parts into her body when he turns 18. And I forgot, how old is ASHIBI? I gotta look that up. I'll definitely put that in the edits below. Also, I'm pretty sure the Fabri counter is at 23. I'm pretty sure we've killed 23 roughly, right? Anyways, so what ASHIBI's doing is he wants leverage against her. He needs to learn more about Fabricants so that he might not even have to rely on Fabricant 100 is what I assume. So unless Fabricant 100 changes her mind on using ASHIBI's body, I genuinely think there might be a point in the story where Fabricant 100 is a villain, and I find that highly interesting. Moreover, I've been wondering, like, what if Luca's a Fabricant? He's probably not, since he's already confirmed seemingly that he's human, but just like I said, focus on what those people look like in Mort's safe. They don't have their faces shown, and I think that is to just draw attention to only ASHIBI and 100 and Luca, but the girl patching up ASHIBI literally has like the neck thing like Fabricant 100, which genuinely leads me to believe that we should not trust Mort's safe for everything it is. Fantastic chapter. Like I said, 85% out of 100. I think what that chapter did was straight up just drop a fat lore bomb and give us a really good insight into how Fabricant 100 truly is, while still maintaining a kind of all gas no brakes, albeit in a dull way. And I really like that. I really love this story. I really cannot wait to be reviewing up, like be chapter 20 and we're like, oh man, can you believe what happened? This harkens back to chapter 5, 4. Like, I'm ready to be that guy, and I hope you guys will be that audience with me. So I've been Merch Hunter Ricky, you've been you, and I really appreciate that. And that was chapter 5 of Fabricant 100, titled Ignorance. Great stuff. Have a good day, everyone. And as always, like and subscribe to be part of my merch hunting tribe. I thank you all for sticking with me for this long. Thank you for the 260 subscribers. I appreciate each and every single one of you, the viewers, the likers, and the commenters. Have a great day.